Welcome to the Black News Network, your source for news from a Black perspective. We're here to cut through the noise and bring you the unfiltered truth. No sugarcoating, no spin, just raw, honest reporting.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is the Black News Network. BN 247, the real voice of Black USA. We are live from the desk of the emissary, bringing you the War Report with War Smith-Bey as your host. We do not own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. Today is a little more personal discussion about inner feelings of Black men and Black women here in America and how we respond rather than react to situations occurring in our lives. And there's a lot of things that happen we are trying to control, but somehow they have a tendency to get out of control sometimes. So what I want to discuss today is Black emotional intelligence, because I'm thinking that it all surrounds Black emotional intelligence, BEI. Now, let me try and explain what emotional intelligence is in my interpretation. Think that your interpretation is the same as mine, because it's probably not. We different, and let's look at it differently. But all I want to do is give you an understanding of what's actually happening when we go through these things. Emotional intelligence is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understanding the emotions of people around you. There are 5 key elements to emotional intelligence. Now, today we're going to break down those 5 elements. Those 5 elements start with self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. We have to have that combination of items to put us together socially and into our community. And it teaches us, knowing these 5 things about ourselves, teaches us how to deal with people that we may encounter every day. You know, like today, I was backing out of a parking lot and somebody wanted my spot that I was in. And the people behind me didn't feel like they needed to back up far enough for me to get the hell out of the damn parking spot. So naturally, I'm sitting there laying on my horn. I'm blowing, getting frustrated, saying, "What the? You know what I'm doing." That's what we all do. Is the way we react to certain situations that create certain issues in our lives that we may live to regret. So what we want to do here tonight with this discussion is to bring you in closer to yourself. In other words, put you in touch with yourself, because this is the person you control. You don't control a damn thing outside of what's above your 2 feet. You don't control it. So your action can dictate the response from others. It can dictate your response. But so if you got control of the 5 elements of controlling your own emotional intelligence, then you have the ability to control other people's emotional intelligence. But if you can't control your own, damn sure ain't gonna control nobody else's. So let's start with ourselves and decide how we can take these 5 skills that we're going to talk about today and make those 5 skills part of us, the way we all operate in life. Now, this is BNN 247. Please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube page. Take a moment to like us on Facebook. Also, take another moment to look at us on Instagram and X and all those other platforms. I mean, what you got to lose? We're even on TikTok. Look at all these different social media places that we can go and help Black people establish a better footprint in what's happening out here in our world. We can see people with millions and millions of views on these different platforms. But when you start looking at the Black people, we don't tend to like each other's stuff. We don't subscribe to each other's stuff. But if we can turn that around, I mean, look at the power we can generate by just liking or subscribing to somebody's page. It doesn't cost you a dime. So go ahead and do it. Like us, subscribe to us, and view us on our different social media platforms. Thank you. And I really do appreciate that. We appreciate that. Again, we're talking about Black emotional intelligence. So the first thing I want to really dive into is being aware of oneself. When you encounter something that you're not so happy with, like that parking space incident I was talking about, I mean, there's just so many different things. You might go through the drive-through and they don't put what you ordered in the bag, and you run back up in the store raising hell, give me my damn shit or give me my money back or whatever. And they don't have to serve you with that attitude. So you got out of your car and said, hey, maybe you put the wrong thing in my bag. Can you take a look at this and help me get my order right? And I guarantee you they'll be running to get your shit together. But if you go in there with an attitude, they're going to tell you to get the hell out of their store, and I don't damn blame them. So it's about responding rather than reacting to somebody else's competence, somebody else's aggression, somebody else's incompetence. But it always starts within yourself. It does not start with them. It starts with you. So self-awareness is where you need to be at all times. And you need to keep your head on the swivel because you never know what kind of stuff is going on around you. You may have had a great night out dining, a great night out at a concert, and then you decide to go to a Waffle House or IHOP or something, or Denny's to get you a breakfast because you've been out all night. You want to get something to eat to close out the night, and then you go in there and people acting at the damn food. So your best bet is to get back in your car and move. Keep it moving. Don't allow yourself to be in a situation that you don't control. You can't control that situation. Well, let me put it a new way. Don't allow yourself to be in a negative situation that you cannot control. Get out of that situation and go somewhere else, because there are other places you can go and get you something to eat. And the best place you can go and get something is home. You've been out all damn night, so get your ass home. All right, so self-awareness, having an understanding of your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own values, your own beliefs, and your own actions. It means that you understand who you are. You have to understand who you are. That's what it boils down to. You have to understand what you want. You have to understand how you feel and why do the things that you do. Why you do the things that you do. I mean, all of that makes you. God tells you to build your temple within yourself. That is your heaven and that is your hell. You can make it either one. You can make it your heaven or you can make it your hell. I feel like I got something on my nose, but I don't know what it is. But you can make it your heaven or you can make it your hell. And if you make it your heaven, you go home with a smile on your face, you get a good night's sleep, get up the next day, and go do it again. Go do whatever you do again. But if you want to make it your hell, you definitely can. And you can do that by not paying attention to who you are. You know, people, we think we get stronger. We think we get more ready to whoop somebody's ass. I'm just going to put it like it is when the time comes. But you can't whoop everybody. You know, you probably done gained some years on you, and you ain't the fighter that you used to be. So it don't make sense for you to grow up and think you from finna whoop somebody's ass because you ain't. You need to settle down. That's what we do. We have a tendency to overreact and allow our emotional intelligence to start taking control of what we should and should not be doing. Look at the world today. You can see it all over the world. Hamas attacks Israel with 125 people a few months ago. But the response to what Hamas did is not equivalent to what they did. Israel is taking them out. They're taking a piece of that land every single day. Now, that is an overwhelming response. Now, what would happen if you got in a situation, one-on-one situation, and you were not aware of self, and you ended up taking yourself to another level and doing something that you probably shouldn't have done because you did not take control of who you are and be self-aware of how you get. You know how some people say, well, man, I try not to say nothing because I don't want to get pissed off because you know how I get when I get pissed off. Like I give a damn about how you get when you get pissed off. Matter of fact, yes, like I give a damn about you being pissed off. So my point is, people don't give a shit about you being pissed off. People don't give a shit about your attitude. What people care about is how you respond rather than react to the situation. So be aware of yourself, because if you're not, then you end up getting caught up in a situation where you get the police involved, and there's a 50-50 chance you might go to jail or you might go home. You might not go, you might go to the morgue. You don't damn know. So my recommendation is to get control of yourself before you find yourself in a situation that you cannot control, that you're being told what time to go to bed, you're being told what time the lights go out, you're being treated like a child inside of a room that you only get to come out of 1 hour a day. So you need to get control of this, my brothers and sisters, because there's too many of us serving time in our penitentiaries. There are too many of us. And there are too many of us going to the penitentiary because we don't know who the hell we are. And because we don't stop long enough to figure out who we are. All we have to do is what I'm telling you about today, is learn about your Black emotional intelligence. You know that you have the capacity and the capability of not overreacting to a situation. You don't have to always overreact. You don't have to always get angry. You don't have to get angry at all, to tell the truth, because shit happens all the damn time. Why are you getting angry? Because shit happens. It ain't your fault. It ain't their fault. It ain't nobody's fault. Whose fault it is that you, let's say you in the club having a good time and you accidentally knocked over somebody's drink or fell over somebody because you've been drinking a little too much. And who fault is it? You all out there to have a good time. Why ruin that damn good time with some bullshit? That's what we do. We ruin everybody's good time with some bullshit. All you got to do is respond rather than react. And even if the person that made the mistake come out and say, I apologize. Oh, you got a point. You got a mission to show that you're the toughest man on the planet for that minute. And then you mess around and get everybody in some bullshit. The police get involved and everybody go to jail. And now it's all because you did not have control of your emotional intelligence. So it starts with, again, what I just said, self-awareness. Know who you are. You have to have an understanding of your own thoughts, your own feelings, values, beliefs, and actions, and ethics. Your thoughts can be whatever the hell they may be, but if you have an understanding of what kind of thoughts may be going through your head, then you're fine. You just have to know that you're going to react to some and not to others. You don't react to every damn thought you have. And if you're reacting to them damn thoughts, you might be in over your damn head. So be careful out there. Don't put your feelings on your shoulder so somebody can knock them off. You know, that's just the old saying that we say, get out your feelings. You hear people say that all the time. Get out your feelings, because at the time when they tell you to get out your feelings, there's a tendency that you may or may not be overreacting. And if you're overreacting, then you're putting yourself and whoever may be with you in jeopardy of harm. Be in control of your thoughts. Be in control of your feelings. Stay out your feelings, brothers and sisters. Stay out your feelings. You don't need to do that. You don't need to react. You need to respond. Your values. I mean, your parents didn't raise you up to be a fool. You don't have to go out there and act like a fool and want to whoop every damn body. You don't have to do that. You should be a lot better character person. Your character should be developed to a point where you are not going to go out there and try and not pay attention to your feelings and your thoughts. Do the right thing. You don't want to let yourself go like that. Know your thoughts, know your feelings, know your values, and your beliefs that you are the bigger person. And you know you get sick of hearing that shit. Be the bigger person. That's some bullshit. Both of y'all just need to be self-aware of who you are, and then just act accordingly. And you are the bigger person, regardless of somebody giving you authority to be the bigger person. You're already the bigger person. People don't have to give you that. And you know, people always want to say, "Man, you should be the bigger person." You know, I don't even want to say what I was thinking. You know, this my thought. I was thinking it, but I didn't say it. F that. You know, but I don't usually say the F. I say what it is. So thoughts, feeling, values, beliefs, and your actions. You know your actions. You already know how you act when you get a certain way. So you should remove yourself from that situation so you don't have to act. Remove yourself. Put yourself in a situation where it doesn't bother you. All right. That is something that we want to remember. Don't ever forget who you are. Your self-awareness is more important than anything in your entire life, being aware of yourself. You always want to lift yourself to what we call, as Moors, to your higher self. Lift yourself to your higher self, not lowering yourself to your lower self, because you do have two selves. You have a lower self and a higher self. You should always try and act in your higher capacity, and you can be fine. You can make it to your older ages in life. Too many of us die at young ages over dumb shit. So stay out of trouble by being aware of who you are. Self-awareness. The other thing that I would ask you to talk about or to think about is how you self-regulate yourself, how you self-regulate your emotions. You're responsible for your emotions. Now, you always heard the saying, men don't cry, black men don't cry, but that's a damn lie. Black men cry just like anybody else cry. So don't go hard on the paint if you see a black man crying, because that's why they don't cry, because people surrounding them don't understand that they don't have to react to that. Oh, look at Joe Blow crying, man. You a grown ass man. You over there crying. That's because that person that just said that, all right, they are not self-aware. They don't understand who they are. So they're trying to bring you down to the level that meets with them because they're acting in their lower self. So you keep crying, keep doing what you're doing. Don't allow yourself to stoop to their level because they're trying to bring you down to a lower level. Don't let it happen. You're aware of yourself and you can self regulate your emotion. So, emotional self regulation refers to the ability to manage disruptive emotions and impulses. In other words, to think before you act. Now, you know, everything has a pro and a con. The pro of not getting in a fight is that you live another day. Then if the con is you decide to go ahead and act on your emotions and you respond rather than react, you're not self-regulating your emotional self. You're allowing yourself to go out of control, and you know how it goes. Black people want you holding people back, right? But they really want you to hold them back because they really don't want to do shit. But the moment you let them go, then they ain't got nowhere to go. It reminds me of a thing that I saw. There was these two dogs, and there was a chain link fence in between them with a gate. One dog was on the outside of the fence. One dog was on the inside of the fence. And boy, if you heard those two dogs barking at each other, they had their noses stuck to each other, just fighting and fussing, talking more shit than you can damn get used to. These dogs act like they wanted to just tear each other limb and beat each other's ass till the sun go down. But the dude that was there watching the dogs, he said, well, let me try this. He opened the gate and the two dogs just stood there. They didn't bark, they didn't do shit, they didn't even move. That's when he opened the gate. Then he closed the gate back, and then they went back at it, back at it, back at it. In other words, self-regulating is wanting somebody to hold you back and not allowing yourself to get carried away to a particular level that you cannot walk back from. If you can get in a situation that you cannot walk yourself back, then you can't blame nobody else because, for one, you're not self-aware of who you are. You don't know your thoughts, feelings, values, beliefs, and actions. You're not listening to your thoughts. You're not listening to your feelings. You got your feelings on your shoulders. You don't know your family values. Your parents didn't teach you like that. You knew better. You knew better than to get involved like that. You had better belief systems. You believed you go to church every Sunday. You did this, you did that. You know what you were supposed to do, but you didn't self-regulate. Emotional self-regulation refers to the ability to manage disruptive emotions. We have disruptive emotions. You might say one thing and somebody look at that as a trigger word and they ready to fight you because you called them a nigga or because a white person. I mean, how do you decide who can call you a nigga or not? Anytime a black person call you nigga, it's okay. But then as soon as a white person call you nigga, you want to fight. That don't stand up in court. Why is it okay for the black man to call you nigga, but the white man can't call you nigga? So what it boils down to, why can anybody call you nigga? Because you ain't no. You're not nigga, you're not black, you're not African American, you're not colored, you're not Negro, you're not Indian, you're none of those things. You are Moors. Whether you have taken the oath of amnesty or not, you are Moors. And your last name will be prefixed just like my name. Either it's going to be B-E-Y or it's going to be E-L, Bey or L. Those are the only two names that we are represented by in this country. But we suffix our slave name because our slave name is our link to our ancestry. And if we changed our slave name as well as annexing our ancestral name, then we don't have a continuity of who we are and where we came from. So that Smith follows back to a certain level before my ancestors were made to change or to drop their ancestors in their ancestral religions, in their ancestral beliefs and values. They were made to drop that stuff. So it's my responsibility when I became aware. It's like if you don't know, you don't know. But when you do know, you should execute and do better. You need to do better once you know the basics and the facts. You're never gonna know everything that you need to know about yourself. I mean, they did a hell of a job confusing the fuck out of everybody. Black. We are confused race, and we're gonna stay confused until we take an action. Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865, and in that Emancipation Proclamation, it tells you, black man, that you have to do something in order to secure your citizenship. And if you don't do it, then you're never gonna be a citizen. The 13th Amendment, 20 section actually tells you that you will never be a citizen in the United States. But we don't want to dig that deep because the country that brainwashed us, that taught us how the European doctrine, and we don't know shit about who we are, where we came from. We know everything we need to know about the white American, but they don't know a damn thing about us. They can't tell you where we were in 1492. They can't tell you that because they have hidden it from the mainstream America. And if we don't stop long enough to figure out that, damn, why did they hide our history before the Civil War? Then ain't nobody to blame but ourselves. So we are our own worst damn enemy because they got us right where they want us, in a stagnant situation where we're too engulfed. In other words, we're too mired in the mud that where we are never dig out unless we help each other dig out. Because there is a way out, but we have to do it together. And if we don't ever do it together, we ain't never getting out. I don't expect us to get out. And it's the USA is in a process of creating two things: a rich class and a poor class. And the middle class does not exist anymore. Especially when Donald Trump in 2017 made it okay for you to hire your relatives in federal jobs without a college degree. And then after Donald Trump, Biden continued the policy. So, no matter what, they're not really trying to fix anything we do about us. And you should get to the point in your life where you know this, you accept that. So in order for you to do that, you're going to have to become self-aware. You're going to have to know your emotional intelligence. You have PTSD and don't even know it. You need to get counseling. If you've never had counseling, you should get it. And, I talk a lot about what we do and how we are and where we should go and who we should see and what we are. And it's all fact. Anybody can dispute anything I said, and I can show you in verbiage where the truth lies. I can verbatim it to you. So all you got to do is question it. Since I've been doing this broadcast for 3 years, I've never had a person to go against what I've said because I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. And all you got to do is research it, and you'll find out that, damn, I told you the truth. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is research it. And if that ain't enough, contact me, and I will help you. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting everything from a Black perspective. Like I said in the beginning, we don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. Black emotional intelligence. And when we talk about Black emotional intelligence, it is the ability to manage both your own emotions, and you have to understand the other people's emotions too that are around you. If you just worry about yourself and knowing yourself, then you're lost again. So you gotta understand yourself, and it better equips you to understand them. And you're operating in your higher self when you are aware of your emotional intelligence. There are 5 things that we're talking about today, and we've already covered self-awareness. We've covered self-regulation. Um, Now we're going to move into the third topic, which is motivation. So keep in mind, this is Black emotional intelligence. And we talked about being self-aware of ourselves, and we've also talked about self-regulating ourselves and not allowing the situation to take control of us. See, anytime you get mad at somebody, and I learned this a long time ago, anytime you're mad at somebody and lashing out at somebody, what you have done is given them control of you. You've given them control of your soul, because your soul is like putting let's say the ocean is your spirit, right? The ocean is your spirit. Your soul is like taking a cup and taking a cup of water out of the ocean. That's your soul. But you got to realize your soul is inside of a cup. This is your cup. Your soul is that water that's been put inside of that cup. But it can easily be spilled. It can easily be knocked over. So you have to maintain your soul by not allowing your cup to run it over. Keep your soul inside where it's supposed to be. Self-awareness, self-regulate, motivate. Our personal drive to improve and achieve, commitment to our goals, initiatives, or readiness to act on an opportunity, as well as being optimistic, as well as being resilient. We are the most resilient people on the world today. You know, there's no other person, no other group of people. We're the youngest species of people on the planet. We're the youngest culture of people on the planet. That's why you look at all these things. There's a land called Japan. There's a land called Korea. There's a land called Scotland. There's a land called Venezuela. You hear what I'm saying? But there is no land. There's no land called African American. There's no land called Black America. There's no land called Colored America, Negro America, Indian America. There's no land called that. What we have to do to become part of a nationality is we have to authenticate ourselves. Because once you fill out that birth certificate, you are now part of corporate America. And corporate America has control of your education. They got control of how much money you make. They got control of whether you stay still or not. Of every aspect of your life. And you give it to them unknowingly when you sign your birth certificate or your parents sign your birth certificate. But it's your responsibility once you come out of the darkness is to authenticate your birth certificate. In other words, tell the state that you're from that, hey, I'm no longer going to be part of your cattle, your chattel. Then once you get your paperwork back from the state, then you want to send it to the federal government and say, hey, I'm no longer going to be part of your chattel. So now you are a free individual citizen that does not have to be under certain jurisdictions. In other words, if you are a parent, right, and the neighbor decides to call CPS, Child Protective Services, on you because they think you're neglecting your child, then you have to surrender your child for inspection. You know what I said? You have to surrender your child for inspection just because a neighbor told a goddamn lie about you doing something with your children. But you are subjected to that as long as you are not authenticated. Every state in America has a birth certificate. You have the right to authenticate yourself at for $20, $25. You can do it. Or if you don't know how to do it, contact me, 210-872-2261. And I will inform you on how to do it. I suggest you text. I mean, motivate yourself to change the trajectory of your life. If you live in life right now, which you are, if you can hear my voice, just a joke, you have the right to direct it the way you want it to go. And it ain't all bad. You may be going through some rough damn times right now, but it ain't all bad. Sooner or later, you gonna make it past those bad times. We all have gone through bad times. We are all resilient people. That's how we know our future is brighter every day. No matter how bad it gets, our future is brighter. But we have to believe that it is. And we have to be motivated to make it brighter. Motivation is our personal drive to improve and achieve. To improve and achieve our current situation. If you're not trying to improve or achieve anything to make your life better or your family's life better, then we should be talking because you got a long way to go. You don't need to keep doing the same damn thing and getting the same results when those results does not amount to anything. Doesn't amount to anything. Now they always tell you you don't want to make a lot of money as a black man because it's hard for a camel, a rich man to go to heaven, just like it is for a camel to go through a needle. And if you want to believe that bullshit, you're a damn fool. Because I'm here to tell you they want you not to think that you need money. I'm gonna say it a certain way, but don't take it that way. Nigga, you need some goddamn money. I just had to say that. That just made. See, that was my thought, so I wanted to let that one out. That was nothing bad to point toward nobody. It was just a comment. But my point is, this is America. You know the consequences of not having money. And if you lived during the 40s and 50s and 60s, black people lived on plantations. And on the plantations, they had a store. So they had to go to the store daily, every other day to get basic items like flour, sugar, milk, bread. And every other day, or whenever they had to go, they would go to this store on the plantation and get what they needed to feed their children. And they were feeding their children the bare minimum. You wonder why a lot of black men got big bellies, because the diet that they had growing up was not sufficient. It was a non-sufficient diet. You didn't eat balanced meals. You know what a balanced meals was. You didn't eat like that. You ate what the hell you could get. And you ate it because that's what you needed to survive. You might have ate damn corn cobs every damn day, a pig feet or a chicken feet or something that was not healthy for you. But you had to eat it because there was nothing else to eat. So your body has to go through a transformation when you become aware of what you ate did not make sense. Allow yourself to know what's good for your body and what's not. And the only way you're going to do that is to open your mind up from some of the things that you may have been taught. So that stuff that they bought from that little store on the plantation, that's what they could eat. And that's what they fed their children. But at the end of the week, when the husband gets his paycheck, they subtract every damn penny you spend at the store plus tax. The husband thinks the white man gave him a tractor or gave him a bag of oranges and didn't say that, hey, here's a bag of oranges for you and your family. At the end of the week, he said, oh, I gave you that bag of oranges that was $4, so I took that out of the check. So ain't nobody giving you shit. That's basically where I'm going with that. These people stayed poor during their entire life. And if they went to work at Walmart or Target or any place outside of the plantation, the entire family had to get the hell out of the plantation. So they put you in a position where you could not learn how to grow. You could not grow, because if you're stuck in an environment that don't allow you to see that there's other things that you can grow into out there, then you are the one that's going to suffer. You have to have an open mind and be motivated to go out and check out what's happening out there in the world. If you don't leave the little square mileage that you've been in all your life, you cannot blame anyone because you don't know shit. I was doing a job here in San Antonio at one time, and I had a guy helping me do the job. And I told him I'm going to take him to lunch. And I said, well, I'm going to take you to Hooters. Now, average person ain't going to wonder what the hell Hooters is. Everybody knows that Hooters, you get chicken wings there. He did not know what Hooters was, and that they the Hooters thing existing out here in the world, because he had never left his environment. You got to get out of your environment. You got to move around. And if it ain't working in one environment, move to the next one. You're motivated, you're self-regulated, you're self-aware. There's no reason why you can't do all these things. Motivation is our personal drive to improve and achieve. It's a commitment to a goal that you set for yourself. And if you set unrealistic goals, you're stupid. I'm just saying, you're going to have to change the damn goals that you're setting. You're setting goals, well, I'm going to be a millionaire in 45 days, then you're not going to accomplish your goal. So it's a dumbass goal. If you set a goal and say, well, I'm going to save $100 by the end of the month, then maybe you can accomplish that goal. You can't start as a hero and then get better. You're always going to start from zero. And that don't mean that you got nothing. Zero means wherever you starting from, that's the zero starting point. And then you move up. But you set your goals. If you're homeless and you don't want to be homeless, you set a goal that you're going to be in a house in so many days. And you're not going to be waiting on no damn housing to get you in a house. Because the bottom line is, in this city, there are 100,000 people on the wait list for government housing. 100,000 people. So that means if you go down there today and put your name on that list, you will be 100,001. So don't think somebody gonna do something for you. Motivate yourself when you can get it. You gotta make your own way. Because ain't nobody gonna make it for you. No one will make it for you. You gotta make your own way. You gotta get motivated. You gotta have a readiness that opportunities. You gotta be you gotta be optimistic. You gotta believe that what you're doing is gonna be successful. And you gotta be able to sustain. You gotta be resilient. You gotta continue to be resilient. You're living your life and you think, God, as a man, no, you don't. I'm sorry to say you do not. There's so many homeless people out there right now that thought they had backup, and it came to true that they had nothing and nobody would allow them to stay in their home. So they had to go sleep under the bridge. It's a sad story, but it's motivation. It's motivation not to give up. It was motivation to go live under the bridge. So we've talked about Black emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation. And there's only two left, and these two are simple. Empathy. You can't look at a man standing on a corner begging for $1 and tell him, you need to go get you a damn job. You ain't giving you shit. Go get a job. How you gonna tell that man that you have no idea what that man's circumstances were that placed him on that corner begging for $1 or begging for something? You don't have a clue of what the circumstances are, so don't say shit negative to that person because it ain't your place. Stay in your lane. There's a song I talking about, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That's damn what it is. I forgot the words to it. But he don't want to put his hands on it, so you better stay in his lane. Stay in your lane. Empathy. You gotta have empathy for others. You gotta be able to understand and share the emotions of others. Empathy is a key component of social skills. Social skills are as important as empathy, and both lead you to emotional intelligence, which is what we lack right now in some cases. I wanted to present these two, this topic, because we have to gain control of who we are. We gotta stop wanting to fight. We gotta stop wanting to kill. We gotta stop wanting to shoot everybody that cross our paths. There's no reason for you to take something and somebody bumping into to a level of life and death. There's no need for that. Get in control of your emotions. Get your feelings off your shoulder. Talking about people making them look bad or trying to make them look bad when you're the one doing the dirty shit. Think about how somebody else would feel if did something to them. Think about how they would feel if you didn't give them their correct change. Think about how they would feel if you took their money and did not perform the service that you took the money for. Empathy, you gotta feel others. You gotta have that empathetic feeling somewhere down the line. Somewhere. And lastly, but not leastly, is social skills. Being able to interact with others, active listening, verbal and nonverbal communications allow you to build meaningful relationship with others. Active listening, that's something we have to work on, because once cell phones hit the street, everybody forgot about what active listening is, because they don't want to talk to each other. Nobody wants to talk to each other because they're not concerned about anything about their damn cell phone. They're not listening to you. You talking to somebody and they looking at their damn phone. It's so rude to me for me to be having a conversation with an individual, and that individual checking texts and sliding and, doing all that bullshit. And then you say, hey, so we're having a conversation. Yeah, I was just checking that email. That's all, man. I just checking that. That don't make that shit all right. If you're going to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. Stop damn looking at your damn phone when we're having a conversation. That equates to active communication, active listening, active hearing, active responding. Stop playing on your phone when you're in the midst of people that you love and care for. Talk to people. People, we got to get away from that shit and get back to communication. Actively listening to what you say, actively hearing, actively receiving, and actively responding rather than reacting to what you say. Listening to people is such a key basic factor that thousands, if not millions of us have lost. And we've lost it because of them damn cell phones. It's a beautiful thing to have that $700 or $800 iPhone. But it's an even more beautiful thing to know when to put that shit down and not put it in the middle of every damn conversation. Why do companies have to now come up with policies for cell phone usage? Why are they contemplating putting a locker in place for the students to put their cell phones in while they're in school? There's so many reasons why we have allowed these damn cell phones to take control of our lives. We got to change that. And we got to start listening and talking to people. Having that cell phone has slowed down our interactions. It makes us not interactive with people anymore. You used to could see somebody, you want to talk to them all damn day, but, you on the phone? Oh, okay. Talk to you later. See what I mean? Bullshit. And if you intend to build meaningful relationships, you're not going to build meaningful relationships on that damn phone. It's just that damn simple. So, social skills, empathy, self-regulation, self-awareness, all equate to Black emotional intelligence. Now, I've told you what I was going to tell you. I've told you. Now, I would like to tell you what I told you because this is information you can live by. And I would hope that you expand yourself beyond that foxhole that you live in and open your mind to some new things that are coming your way. So, Black emotional intelligence is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understand the emotions of other people around you. The 5 elements of Black emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Learn those 5 items and you can become a master of what you need to do in life. Nobody puts a stop to who you are and what you do. Only you can do that. But if you get caught up in the criminal justice system, you may not never see the light of day again. You may not never see it. You know, they got a whole special jail down here in San Antonio for juveniles, and it ain't no. It's a county jail. It ain't no damn little in between house. It is a county jail, and we have people housed in that unit. But now you see the damage you're doing to our children by not allowing them to grow with what they should know. They should know how to handle these things. They should know Black emotional intelligence. Because if they don't, they get caught up where you see a 15-year-old boy getting tased, or you see the police putting handcuffs on an 11-year-old. You have to realize the position you are in this country. And I'm not saying these things to discourage you about being an American because I'm American true and true. I'm saying these things because you and I, we have to draw the line in the sand and say, this is what I need around my house. And you take the initiative to get the things you need. That's how that works. I mean, you don't just think things are going to be good all the damn time. They're not. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, broadcasting live from the desk of the emissary. While you're understanding Black emotional intelligence, I would like you to think of this other topic: breaking bad habits. Fatigue, eating, gambling, drinking, driving, medication. All these things can be considered bad habits. Just about everything you can do could be considered bad habits. But you don't have to allow it to consume you, as I have seen so many people do. It consumes you. You're no longer human anymore. In order for you to break a bad habit, there are several steps you will have to follow. I'm just going to give you the steps, and then I'm done. You must prepare mentally. You must be honest with yourself. You must figure out why these things are occurring. Give yourself some time to implement, and then give yourself a reward when you throw something out. Again, the Black News Network is here for you, and we would love to hear from you. My name is War Smith, your host, and I would love to see you back viewing the show.
Thank you for watching the Black News Network. where we bring you the news from a black perspective. From challenging politically correct narratives to uncovering the unfiltered truth, we're dedicated to keeping you informed and empowered.